Welcome to the Relax into Love podcast, the place for spiritual, ambitious women to awaken to divine connection within themselves and their partner and manifest their most desired relationship with joy and ease. I'm Teal Elizabeth, your host, a spiritual love and relationship coach trained in the principles of feminine energy, NLP, and deep subconscious reprogramming. And through this podcast, it is my desire to inspire you on all things dating, relationships, and self-love. Now, on to the show. What is up, ladies? Oh my God, I cannot tell you how excited I am. I was even trying to just hold back the enthusiasm as I was just saying what is up, because I don't want to scream out your eardrums. What is up? Oh my gosh. Hi. Oh, I'm in a giddy, happy mood right now. And I've got some fun stuff to talk through with you today. I am feeling so overjoyed, so exuberantly happy, so at peace within myself. And yes, we are in the middle of a crazy pandemic. And yes, you could say that the world is falling to hell in a handbasket and all that kind of stuff. And yet I am here just sitting pretty and really happy. So let me tell you a little bit about why that is and how you can get on the same fun drug that I'm on, which is completely sober, by the way. I feel like maybe for the first time ever in my entire life, something has clicked into place for me that I have been seeking to find for a very, very long time. It is a feeling of complete surrender, complete trust, and complete acceptance for myself, and just complete, overwhelming love for myself. And I have so many things I want to say, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to let it all through. So let me just take some breathers and let this all come through. I feel as though I've finally arrived within myself. And that may sound kind of funny, and I also am very much of the belief that we never truly fully arrive, that our whole, goal of life and the whole meaning of life is to continue to evolve and grow and keep becoming a better version of ourselves. But I also recognize that there is a place within us that we are all yearning and striving to be. And that place is a deep connection with ourself and just truly loving the person that we are. Unapologetically, faults and all, quirks and all, completely loving who we are, and not just loving who we are, but feeling so clicked in, so aligned, so dialed in to what we are here to do for this world. And that is how I feel. And it's been something I've been coming into for many, many, many years. I've been on this journey of self-development for many, many, many years, but it's always evolving and growing. And I think for a long time, I was still very much outside seeking validation and approval. And it really has just been starting to sink in for me just probably in the last few months, maybe just since the beginning of 2020, where I really don't give a crap, don't give a shit. Sorry, let me actually say what I want to say and stop filtering. God damn it. I really don't give a shit, right? About the external world and how I am seen. For the first time, I truly feel good in who I am, and I own who I am. And I was getting this reflection from a really good friend of mine who is recognizing something that she really sees in me, is this feeling of self-assuredness, of innate confidence, of just this deep groundedness. And that's exactly what I feel. I feel like I have finally arrived in this place in my center where I am so grounded, so rooted into who I am. And I feel so grateful for who I am and what I get to do for the world. And the reason I'm sharing for this with you is because I want you to recognize, one, when you get to this place too, what a beautiful, amazing, incredible feeling it is. And two, that this is completely possible and it is achievable, and that I want to try and put words to this feeling that I think a lot of times we are always wanting to seek. we're seeking for satisfaction, and our ego mind very much keeps wanting to seek in the external. Well, maybe when I get this new job, or maybe when I get this new boyfriend, or maybe when I, get to this next level in my whatever, right? Or in my health, or my athleticism, or or my studies, then I will be feeling good and I will have arrived and I will be able to actually have this beautiful life that I've always wanted. And what I'm here to say is that it is never about the external world. It is never about the external world that will give you the satisfaction. It really, truly comes from within ourself. It's a groundedness in ourself and a true acceptance and love of ourself. And this can definitely be something that, takes some work and it takes some guidance, and something that I've sought out a lot of support, and I've read a ton of books, and I've done a lot of journaling and reflection and meditation and all the things. And I think it's just also some time, right? It's just time and patience and compassion with ourselves, and really truly honoring and just accepting, allowing ourselves to be who we are. And I am feeling at this place now where something has really shifted within me, where there's this power that I hadn't had before. This sense of deep, it's a rumbling. It's a rumbling. It's a roar. It's a very instinctual, it's a primal urge and essence and feeling. The word that comes to my mind is a lioness. I feel I've connected into a lioness within me. Not only that, I think my spirit animal is a lioness. I think I am an embodiment of a lioness, and everything about that word and about that identity is speaking so true for me. A lioness is, she's sexy, she's powerful, she's mysterious, she's gentle, she's mothering, she's a partner and a true companion to her lion pride pack, right? She's very much an equal and a dominant equal. She's, oh gosh, just fuzzy and furry and cozy and snuggly, but also ferocious if you get on her bad side, right? Like all of these beautiful qualities that I am really tapping into this primal feeling of like, I've come home. I've come home in a way that I've never come home before. And this power is like nothing I've ever felt before. And I think a lot of times, more often than not, the seeking that we are looking for on the external is there because we are afraid to actually go within and uncover and discover what it is that is our primal nature, that is our wild essence, because that is not necessarily what our world has prescribed us to be as ladylike or confining into the boxes of society, right? And there's a lot of books that have been written about this from other beautiful women that have really tapped into this wild side of ourselves. And what I want to say to you, girls and ladies and women and everyone listening, is like, this wild side of ourselves is so beautiful. It is so passionate. It is so powerful when we let ourselves actually go there. And it is so important to be able to actually connect into this side of ourselves, this wild side. And I think so often we put ourselves into these boxes of the world that the world confines us to be in, right? And then sometimes we live our entire life in this box and we never actually push the boundaries and explore what is on the other side, what is on the outside of this box. And we live literally like a tiger, like a lion in a cage for our entire life. And although we may get comfortable in that box and we may start to recognize that that box is us, there is so much else out there in the world that we have yet to go and be and do and live in this wild essence. But we will never know what that capability is, what that passionate side of ourselves, that wild side of ourselves is, if we don't actually let ourselves recognize that we are a frickin' lioness. Are you hearing me? You are a lioness. And when we really start to connect into that essence, that power starts to rumble. And we start to recognize maybe the things that have been holding us in our cage. And sometimes that's scary and we don't want to see that, right? Because it indicates and it shows that we weren't allowing ourselves to live our best life up until now. But my question to you right now is, which would you prefer? Would you prefer to live your whole life never recognizing or realizing that you have this wild side within you? Or would you rather know that you have this wild side within you, but you've been keeping yourself caged? For me, always the second one, because then at least I know I can do something about it, right? And then I can know that I actually have the potential to really come alive, to really feel what it feels like to come alive inside. And I will tell you what it feels to come alive inside. It feels like you are invincible, that no matter what is happening in the world, you are going to kill it. You are going to take care of yourself. You are going to not just survive, you are going to thrive amongst all the chaos, amongst all the darkness. You are going to be that light in the darkness. You are going to be the fire in the cold. You're going to be just the essence of brightness within any vastness that is trying to suck that away from you. You're just an endless light, abundantly beautiful, beaming, shining. Now, I may be going off on a crazy tangent. You're like, Teal, you're getting a little cuckoo for me today, but I just want to allow myself to be in this space of just exuberance and showing you how amazing it can feel to be in that exuberance. And I want to excite you and ignite you. Ooh, that's fun. Excite and ignite you into starting to dream again. I was talking with my ladies today, running my masterclass in the Attraction Academy, which is just such a powerful group. Oh my gosh, I was loving the conversation coming through today. And we were talking about allowing ourselves to dream again. And I want to ask you, how much have you actually been stifling your true dreams, of really letting yourself go there, and many of these women were recognizing, wow, I never actually even let myself dream up what I want for myself, for my relationships, for my future, because I let that side of myself go. And they were acknowledging, from the time, usually I was dreaming, I had that side of me, I had that passion, I had that wildness when I was a young girl, and then somewhere maybe around 10, I lost it. And I was told that I shouldn't dream, and that those are fairy tales, and that those don't come true, and that I need to grow up and I need to be realistic, right? And all of those things are a box and a cage that we put that wild side of ourselves in. And when we do that, we are truly cutting off our source, our soul, our fire, our passion, everything that makes us beautiful, of the creative essence and the sirens and the goddesses and all the elements that are just so mystical and wild about us. And we're putting those into a box. And for some of us, we're sealing it up tight. We're putting a lock and a key, and we're shoving it deep down inside of us so that we can try and, quote unquote, be normal and be accepted in this world. And then at some point, for many of you, you'll recognize and say, wait a second, I'm not happy. I don't feel good. Is this really all that life has to offer, right? I've settled. I don't like this. And this is really the indicator for you, my dear, that there's something within you that has to shift. There's something that you need to come back home to, that you have been cut off from your fire. You've been cut off from your wildness. You've been cut off from your power. And here's the even crazier, deeper part of it that I was reflecting on. The way that we see ourselves is the way that the world receives us. And this goes for any place. Maybe you're not in a big cutoff place. Maybe you're feeling fine, you're doing your things and blah, blah, blah. But maybe you're just getting stuck. You're getting stuck in a pattern. And you're not actually ever able to move through this pattern. Or maybe you're only finding guys that see you in a certain way, and they only treat you in a certain way. And you're like, God, why can't they see me for this person that I really am, right? Like, why do they keep treating me and putting me into this specific box? Or why are my family or my friends always continuing to just put me in this certain way? It's because we influence the way that people respond to us. We are the indicators of teaching people how to see us and how to receive us in the outside world. And it is all determined and based on how we see ourselves and what we are actually connected into within ourselves. So if we feel lost, confused, questioning, uncertain, or just cut off or timid or less than or not enough, right? We are telling the world, this is how you get to see me. This is who I am, right? Or we put on a face, we put on a facade, we put on masks, and we go out into the world wearing these masks, and people see the mask, but they know something's off. And I'm sure you recognize this, right? Where maybe you've noticed this with someone you've met, where you've seen them and you recognize, yeah, they seem really cool, but I don't know, there's just something that feels off about them. Like, it doesn't seem quite, sincere. It doesn't feel quite in integrity with what they're saying and how they're acting, right? We've all met people like that. And this is because there is a place within us or within them where they are disconnected from their truest essence, disconnected from being fully in alignment with who they truly are and accepting that and allowing that to come through. Ugliness and all. Insecurities and all, quirks and all. But when we really start to actually realign with the image of who we really are and who we are continuing to evolve and grow into being, the beautiful version of ourselves, then that's who we get to start stepping into being for the world. That's who we get to start actually showcasing and teaching the world to see us as. And we really do dictate the image of how people see us and receive us in the world. Now, I hate to say it that there's this whole cliche of fake it till you make it, but there is an element of truth underneath that. Although it does kind of come from a place of put on a mask and fake it. That's not the truth part of it. But the truth part of it is the way you show up. The way you show yourself to the world is what allows you to be able to make it into being that person, right? And to be seen in that way. But the deeper part of it here is actually first seeing that within yourself and then showing that to the world and letting the world see you for the beautiful, powerful, magnetic, wild woman that you are. Wow, that was beautiful. I don't know if any of this makes sense to you, but it makes a ton of sense to me. And I know it's been resonating with the women I've been chatting with in my masterclass, but something I just wanted to leave you with today is letting yourself just have this food for thought and thinking about, am I really allowing myself to connect into the deepest essence of who I really am at my core? Am I really connected into the woman that I want to become? Or are there parts of myself that I'm cutting off or filtering or trying to contortion myself into being for others, to please others, to be accepted? And does that serve me? Does that work for me? Or am I ready to graciously let that go and step into new elements and essences of myself, right? And continuing to do this shedding process and this questioning process over and over and over again until you feel so aligned and so at home and so grounded and so self-assured in who you truly are. All your likes, all your dislikes, the people that you want to be around, the people you don't want to be around, the music you like, the music you don't like, right? The foods you'll eat, the foods you won't eat. All of these things that create the essence of who you are. And then taking it a step deeper into the place of, this is what I do for my living. This is what I do for my soul's passion work. This is the charities I'm contributing to. This is my purpose and mission for the world. And nothing is going to shake me from that. When you get to that point, that is when you know you have arrived into this true clicked in alignment with your soul. And I tell you, girl, it is just the most powerful, most satisfying, most juicy place I think I've ever been in my entire life. And I've had many incredibly satisfying, beautiful moments in my life so far. But this by far, even in the middle of a pandemic and so much uncertainty and so much craziness and me having to give up so much of the external world that I thought was going to make me happy, I will tell you, I've never been happier. And that's how I know it's so real and so true. And it is just an incredible, incredible feeling. I literally was just dancing around the house yesterday, could not contain how happy I was. And there was nothing that even happened, right? I could barely go to bed. I was just so happy. And happiness is fleeting, and it's not going to be like this every moment of every day. And I don't expect it to be, but there is just a general feeling of true peace and calm and centered groundness. And then from that place, you get to take it even one step deeper, and you get to really deepen into that connection with self and that connection with soul. And that soul is the portal to the universe and the portal to infinite wisdom, infinite truth, infinite guidance. And that is what I've been tapping into as well. And from that place, it's just I can truly breathe. I can truly relax. I can truly know that no matter what happens, literally, on the external world, I'm supported. I'm safe. I'm going to be okay. And that knowing that I've been arriving into is like nothing I've ever experienced, and not anything I ever knew that I even could experience. And once again, I think that's why I want to share this with you right now, not from a place of ego of wanting to be like, look at me, from a place of humbled groundedness, of sharing with you ladies what is possible and what you are able to experience in this lifetime, and to never stop seeking until you get to this place, because there is such a universal opening of infinites, of just infinites. Infinites? That's not even a word. It's it's a word now. Infinites that has just been opened up for me, that feels truly like magic. And I'm one of those little girls that when I was a little girl, I believed in Santa Claus literally till I think I was like 12 years old, because I wanted to believe in magic so bad. I wanted to believe that this world was a magical place. And you don't even know how disheartening it was when I finally had to come to the real truth of like realizing that Santa Claus did not really exist. But I think for all purposes aside, it still does. It really does. And at least that's how I choose to look at the world. And for all those cynics out there, it's okay. You can be cynical. But really, at the end of the day, we only have this one journey of life. And for me, the journey is in the every moments. And for me, the every moments is what makes life beautiful. And I would much rather choose to believe that there's magic in the world and that we are connected into something infinitely magical and infinite and abundant and powerful and safe and supportive, than to believe that there's no magic in the world and to just see everything as dull and transparent and just no purpose. So all this to say, there is so much magic. There's so much magic waiting to be discovered. There's so much beauty that is waiting to be tapped into within you and your soul and your wisdom. And it's just up to you to continue on this path, to continue to dive into exploring yourself, to continue to question, continue to shed the things that are no longer serving you, and just really opening up to a place of curiosity within yourself, of just exploring and just learning and just seeking to understand. Because the more you continue to seek to understand, the more you will uncover. And it's like a beautiful Easter egg hunt that just continues to open up these beautiful gems of awakening. And I tell you, it is the best journey of life. There is nothing better. It's like being a kid on an Easter egg hunt, but being an adult on an Easter egg hunt of life, of wisdom and truth and joy and a satisfaction. So yeah, wow, that was a really fun episode to share. I wanted to kind of just like totally bring in an inspiring kind of happy light, because I know there's just been a lot of darkness. There's been a lot of heaviness. There's been a lot of just like doom and gloom talk and a lot of processing, a lot of heavy emotions. And I wanted to kind of bring back some light and some inspiration and some joy and just like giddiness, right? Because there is that too, even in the darkness. And that's what I just want to keep reminding each of you, that there is so much light to be discovered when we allow ourselves to move through the darkness, to embrace it, to allow it to teach us, and to come out the other side. And that's where I'm wanting to stay here with you and continue to beckon you forward and just holding that space for you. So if this resonates with you, please share it with a friend who could use this message today. I would love to be able to just get this message out to as many women as possible. And for any of you who are interested in exploring this and just would love to take your own self-development journey deeper, I would love to offer you a free introductory one-on-one breakthrough call with me. This is something I offer to new women that are in my community, because I really love to get to know each of the women in my community, and I want to know from you, what it is that you are seeking and what it is that you may be finding yourself coming up with against blocks or walls that you can't move through. And these sessions are extremely powerful in being able to just give you new perspectives and help you shift through these things within yourself. So I'll leave the link below in the show notes for you to grab time on my calendar. This is for new members that I haven't met yet. So if you have not met me in person, I want to meet you. And for all of those who are my continued listeners, I am just sending you so much love, and I know that you are just here cheering me on, and I'm cheering you on, and I look forward to working with you at some point in the future. So that's where I'm going to leave it with today, and I'm just sending you tons of happiness and joy, and talk soon.